Hello, Monster Jam fans. I'm Mark Schrader with MonsterJamOnline.com and co-host of Monster Jam on Speed. What I'm going to do is take you from tip to toe in 2 minutes, from headlights to taillights. We're right here with the Grave Digger, and we're going to give you a little education about what the monster truck is all about and give you some of the basics so you understand what's going on with these huge monster trucks. First and foremost, we have the obvious. We have the tires. They're 66 inches tall, they're 43 inches wide, and they have a 25-inch center, which is where the rim sits. So, that being said, they bolt on here, which is what we call a planetary steering knuckle that goes to the axle housing. These parts are all custom-built parts, and right here is the tie rod. Some people call it the tie bar, some people call it the tie rod. Technically, all it is it ties both sides of the truck together so that the driver can steer. Walking over here, you can see at the very front, this truck particularly has 2 shocks per corner. That is 8 shocks total, and what they are, they have an accumulator here, which is where you put the nitrogen gas charge in it, and it's filled with oil with a valving system in here that allows this truck to land and take off very, very smoothly. Over the years, technology has graduated to immense heights, as well as the monster trucks have graduated to immense heights. So, as a result, they've got shocks that travel up to 30 to 36 inches long. So that means you've got that much travel before you land and bottom out on the truck. As we come over here, we can talk about the rim. This is a special rim. They call this a bead lock rim. All these bolts right here actually undo the bead of the rim. What this does is when you bolt this on, it prevents the rim itself from de-beading or the bead breaking off the tire. When you land sideways with the truck, you see many times on Monster Jam on Speed, you will see the truck land sideways and it'll blow the tire right off the rim. This eliminates that problem. A huge, huge innovation in the world of Monster Jam. It came from the smaller trucks and the Pro Stadium type of trucks, but they've innovated it to the big trucks, and it's a great change. Over here on the side of the truck, what you can see is this is part of the drive line right down here. This is the drive shaft. Encased around the drive shaft is a safety loop. It's part of the USHRA safety systems that we implement to keep all the parts. If you were to break a drive line, it's one of the weakest links on the truck. If you were to break that, that encompasses the drive shaft, so all the parts stay where they belong, and that's what keeps it safe for the fans and for the drivers. This is what we call the center of the truck. It's called the cradle. Right here is the nucleus of the truck, the 4-link system, which is where all the mechanical things that come out of the truck, the suspension, is all attached to this, to the rear ends, and this is really what makes the truck handle the way it does. You can change the angle of the suspension. You've got little bolts right here that you can change the top and bottom 4-link, where you can raise and lower the pinion on the rear end to give a better traction, less traction, changing for tracks. This truck, the Grave Digger, is a very unique truck in many different ways, along with the fact that this is not a truck that you conventionally would climb into like most monster trucks. They actually have a door on the Grave Digger truck. It's one of the few trucks out there in the nation that actually have a door. Speaking of the doors, it's a very light door, along with the body. It's fiberglass. This is not a metal body. It's a custom-made body that is made out of fiberglass. When you see the trucks roll over, when you see them have accidents, you see a lot of parts flying, you think, wow, that metal's going to be expensive to replace. It's very expensive to replace because it is fiberglass, and with a custom paint job like this and upwards near $15,000, it's very expensive. So these guys take care of these trucks, fiberglass or not. The reason it's here is for quick changes and also for quick repairs. You can repair fiberglass much easier than you can repair the metal. If we come all the way to the back of the truck, we have a tie rod again, just like in the front of the truck, but we also have something called rear steering. All 4 tires will turn in one direction or the other. The driver is sitting in the truck in a center steer position, so he has a great feel for each side of the truck, and by doing that, when they use the steering wheel to turn left or right, they also use a toggle switch or little joystick that you can turn the rear steering. So that makes the truck turn in a much tighter radius so that you can get around these corners and get in tighter spots quicker, faster, and easier. So, that being said, one of the most important things on the Monster Jam circuit is safety. This is what we call the switch that shuts off all the power. This is the power switch. When the safety event directors will come out, they will pull this switch in the event of a rollover or an incident that happens on the truck. They have 2 things that can happen with that. They have an RII, which stands for Remote Ignition Interrupter. That is a radio transmitter that is inside the truck. If the officials on the track see something that may or may not be going wrong with the truck, they can shut the truck off instantly with that remote control. In the event of a rollover, that remote control will also shut it off, but then the track officials, before they go and check on the driver, they want to make sure safety first. They shut off all the electricity of the truck, make sure the motor's off by pulling this switch. That's monster truck in 2 minutes.